Acting. Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting.
Hi. Yes, we have another guest, and guess where we know RJ from?
You'll never be able to say.
This is the 14th actress lab person that we talked to, which is fine, but yes. So welcome, RJ.
Hello, I feel so welcome. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Tiana.
Yes. So, first of all, we're very happy that you're here and we're super excited, especially because I feel like I haven't actually talked to you in a while.
It's been so long. It's been like almost a year, I think, since we hung out in person.
I was going to say also, can I say that like literally a year ago, we were working on the 1X. And that was, I cannot believe it's been a year, but that was
I'm going to see John Pinto tomorrow.
Really? Where?
He's in this audio drama I'm doing. I recommended him.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're doing an audio drama?
Okay.
I am. Sorry. I'm starting the interview.
No, you're right. Like, we're going to get into it.
Yeah. So, like, what have you been doing lately?
Lately, acting-wise, I'm working on this audio drama. So it's, I think we've got 6 recording dates on the books, and there's probably going to be pickup dates as well. It's a passion project of a person. I don't know if I can. They probably can. Okay.
It's fine.
It's not out yet. Yeah, it'll be out in October. It's spooky.
And I'm gonna put a button on that because I have questions.
Cool. Okay. I'm the narrator and also one of the characters in the drama. And so that's why I'm there so many days. And it's a blast, actually. Voice acting's way different than any other kind of
I'm so fascinated by it, and it intimidates the hell out of me. Yeah. So my first question is it episodic or is it like a feature length? Like, is it like just like one long, like hour and a half, like a book or something?
Yeah, it's like it's just like it's like 60 pages basically. Yeah.
Goals.
So it's just one thing for now. Maybe there will be more episodes.
Okay, but this is kind of like the intro, like the start, just getting the story out there, seeing if there's anything worth expanding on. Exactly.
Can I ask if you're allowed to say, is it going to be released on because you know how there's a thing called scripted podcast, which is basically a radio show, but you're able to put it out on a platform like an Audible or like a Spotify, and it's like a mini series, but it's basically just like a radio show. Like you release episodes like that. Is it going to be released that way, or like how? Like on?
I think it's going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
If it's released somewhere else, that would be cool. But the person who's doing it has a career on YouTube, and this is a passion project of theirs. That's totally different. Well, it's tangentially related to their YouTube career. I can tell you now, and you can cut it. And I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, no, I'll make a note. Cut it.
Okay.
Okay, so end of the cut. Are we done talking about details?
Mm-hmm.
So it's voice acting. You said that voice acting is very different from acting you've done in the past. How so? Just like what has been your experience thus far?
Well, the similarities are that you have to just sort of like embody the situation and the character and like what you're doing with the acting, but as a narrator as well as like one of the voice performers, it's difficult to it's kind of interesting, I guess, to switch back and forth because it's in the performer's voice. Like the character is the narrator, like it's his story sort of. But I have to like differentiate between I'm speaking about what I'm seeing as I'm going down here, and are you doing all right? Like, and just sort of like with my vocal quality, just sort of suggest like this is what I'm seeing in my head, and like so that's a very like plodding, um, rhythmic sort of talking. That's very low, very even tone. And like the only way I can really show emotion with that is with like basic inflection, you know, like a question mark, or also just like with the breath quality, just like, you know, like, and it was crazy versus, you know, but I can't like be like, and it was crazy because that's the way I would say it, not the way I would think it. And it's all
Mm.
that. Yeah. Um, so that's interesting. And then you also have to be really careful about like your enunciation of words, obviously, like way more, I think, than even on stage. Although it's pretty important on stage because people can't see your lips that well. But nobody can see your lips if it's audio, if nobody can see your lips, you know, if nobody can see your face, which is where, you know, you get a lot of understanding about what's going on with acting just with, you know, posture and expression.
Right, right.
So
I do.
go ahead. No, you
No,
go.
no. I was just gonna say I do remember just making a comment on that. I do remember talking to our good friend Haley, who also does a bit of voice acting. When she was first getting into it, she had mentioned that just kind of trying to enunciate words, like she really had to pay attention and make sure she was saying it exactly as it was written, like completing the word, not shortening it, not like using slang unless it was written that way. So
Yeah.
so it's interesting that that's consistent.
Hmm.
It's like, and stuff that's weird trips you up. Like if you're like when I'm starting a sentence and like the start of a sentence with the, you know, or the, and then the next word starts with like a vowel, it's really hard for me to transition that in a way that's like enunciative. So I have to, it's like, you know, like the entryway. It sounds like one word, the entryway. So I have to be like the entryway. Like I have to put like a little bit of a glottis in there, which is there's stuff you gotta do.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've really talked about voice acting or voiceovers in any capacity. We've never
And I
actually
don't know what I'm
talked about
doing. So I'm the wrong person.
Sounds like you've learned a lot, honestly.
Yeah. I got to do it to learn it. But man, oh man, oh man.
And may I remind everyone of our tagline: "We don't know what we're doing."
Oh, we don't
So
know
just,
what we're doing.
you
We
know.
don't know what we're doing.
This podcast is called Acting Question Mark. We have no idea. We just like to talk about
Acting.
these things. But okay, can I say, so I was literally just watching a clip of Kerry Washington talking about how when she was doing Scandal, she would, you know how like they run stuff before they rehearse before to like get the shots and stuff. So she was like, yeah, I could come in my sweatpants and sweatshirt, whatever. But she was like, the one thing she had to have during rehearsals was her heels because she felt like it changed her posture completely. And then she was able to kind of, even in rehearsal, give the crew the ability to adjust to how she was going to be walking, how she was going to be standing, all that good stuff, and how that really mattered. Like she was like, I could be wearing sweatpants, but I had to have my heels in order to start that rehearsal. Do you have anything that you use for your posture or to keep you in character when you're doing something like that when you're recording?
Yeah, I do the faces. You know, I emote big while I'm talking so that you know it changes your vocal quality to smile while you're talking or frown or just be like big confused face. I don't get it. You know, it does suggest something in the voice and that it just every little bit helps. You know, with every kind of acting. You know, any little thing that you can put on there that makes it better.
Yeah. You know what's funny? So at my rehearsal last night, we it was our second off book rehearsal and we were able to then like utilize a lot more props even though we're like a month out, but it's amazing how much of a difference the props made
Hmm.
for the way that we talk to each other, the way that we moved, like it made such a huge difference just like having our hands free. And so like you're so right. Like anything that you can do to help yourself perform, it's not really always just about the dialogue. You know what? I feel like I finally understand some of the things that Brian says in class. Like it's not because the dialogue is literally the baseline. There's so
Yeah,
much more, you know.
yeah,
So, yeah, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true, and it's a thing to you rediscover over and over and over again.
yes.
Like it's not even like you know it's like oh yeah no obviously I need to act more than just say the words. I get that, and then you get like another level deeper than that, and then another level deeper than that, and you're like yeah obviously I have to you know dredge up a memory from my past that invoked this certain emotion, but not really apply that exactly the way that it happened in the past, but color it with something else. And then I need to think these 5 words in a row and while saying these words.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it's literally like a juggling act, like quite literally a
yeah,
juggling act.
yeah, it really helps to just not have to think about it too much, which is
Okay, so I have like a couple more questions about this. So, do you even try to be off book? Does it help at all to at least know what's coming up next in the next sentence when you could
with
have it
voice.
right in front of you?
Well, you definitely need to read it a couple times so that you really understand. But I mean, I'm not like a like a ancient poet or something. Like I can't memorize a novel, so
Right.
like that's not going to happen. But to
Mhm.
like familiarize myself with like where it's going and that sort of a thing, just so that I don't have to do too many takes, being like, oh, I have to go back to that paragraph and say that again. But what is nice about doing it on voice is that you can just be like, reading like. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Oh, I should say that different. The quick brown fox jumped. The quick brown fox jumped over, and you can just do that and then move
Mhm.
on. So it's as long as like you have to feel comfortable messing up because you have to just push through it.
And okay, last question. So, are you, because you're switching between two different voices, are you doing like if it's like a chapter, are you doing the whole chapter once as those two voices, or are you recording take one as character or as the narrator and then take two just solely? Does that make sense?
So yeah, that does actually totally make sense. And the no, I'm doing the whole thing together.
Wow.
And that's how I would do it if because I used to just read books aloud on like Twitch, just for
Mhm.
fun. And I just read it as it is, and just wing it. Um, the I should specify that this particular character is the narrator, so I don't have
Right.
to change the voice too much. I just sort of have to change the way I'm speaking, you know?
Oh, that's amazing.
It is, and it's like it's so much. So voice acting is so intimidating to me. So my question is, what is it like when you have scene partners? Like,
Mhm.
are they sending you recordings of what they've like? How do you navigate that when you're supposed to be engaged in a dialogue with someone?
Well, right. Um, Couple different ways that can go. With this current project, it's fabulous because I'm actually in the room with the other people. So even though like we're looking at the page, not necessarily at each other, I might glance up at them and stuff, but we're just I say a line, they say the line, it goes back to me. It's a little fun when they're reading and like I'm like, and then she looked at me sternly, and then she has a line, I go, she said, and then she keeps talking. And it's always fun. But yeah, it's the other way though, where you just get the lines. Um, the way I've done it is I've just given them like 4 or 5 different options, even if they're kind of similar. Just because like I don't know, just start it with a little bit more sarcasm or end it with a little like colored, like make this one totally this emotion or make this one totally the other emotion I could see it being, or have it be the second emotion at the beginning and the second emotion at the end, but the main emotion in the middle, or like this, just like that sort of a thing. And if you
Mm.
if you break it down into like that sort of like just a few pieces like that instead of being like I've got to do this totally different. It's like no, no, no. You have 2 or 3 colors that you're painting with, and then just recombine them a little bit, which is what's nice about voice acting. That is, it is you do it with acting as well, but it's way more complicated with body acting, in my opinion.
Yeah, like the cutting and the trimming and the editing and whatnot. Whereas voice acting, you're not seeing anything. So like, yeah, you can just this line fits better or like the way they said this line fits better here. So I'm just gonna cut it and put it here. Um,
Right.
but so I'm curious. Okay, so the first way, because how you're recording this project is in person. You all are in the same room together. How much do you find yourself connecting with your scene partners? Like, does that because so for example, like on stage or on screen, like connecting with your scene partner is incredibly important to convey whatever's happening on screen or in the scene. Do you find that the connection? I mean, it almost sounds a little bit like the stage reading that you did, T, where like like you're just standing there saying the lines to each other.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that it because it's funny because that's stage reading. So it was actually like a well, I don't know if it was full length. It was about 100 pages or so, but it was just a stage reading. So we were literally sitting in chairs next to each other. And like when someone would leave the scene, they would get up and go sit in the other chair. But like for the most part, we were just sitting there and with the scripts right in front of us. And we had a narrator read the stage directions. And I was telling Alicia how much of a difference that made because it basically became its own character. But a lot of it, like, it was extremely important for the audience to understand that like there were physical fights that were happening in the script and they wouldn't have been able to picture that with just us screaming no yes like that, you know what I mean? So it's interesting that like this narrator role, I'm like connecting so much with what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it is cool to like be able to like create the I'm about to talk about Dungeons and Dragons,
Go
obviously.
for it.
Okay.
Um, like it's just like that sort of like reading there, on a stage or like voice acting and stuff is so much just about like imagining the action and like what's happening and like connecting through your imagination with another person. There's like this like tunnel and this like shared world you're creating, which I think it's incredible. It's beautiful. Um, and I do think that sort of like that Dungeons and Dragons or like that kind of like tabletop role playing game sort of improv is like really a great just a way to play with acting and like to just play because like nobody cares. You can be like, yeah, I'm a gnome and I talk weird, but you don't actually have to you don't actually have to do it like that or whatever. It's you can
Yeah.
act as much or as little as you want in like the ways that you feel comfortable. You can take big swings. And when somebody else is like telling you what's happening around you and you just sit back and absorb that and you just soak in it, which is what's nice about the audio drama is that it's just very it's just like a warm bath, It's just like I'm in here with you, We're all in the we're all just I don't know, it's very intimate. But I do
No,
I
no,
do feel like I'm
that's
connecting. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's I love how you described like you all like have to because I mean so much of acting period relies on relation or not relationships, imagination. So I voice acting I kind of you have to turn that dial up even more because it's not visual and because you're not necessarily acting out the scenes traditionally the way you would on stage or on screen. So the idea that like it's almost like telepathy, like like you have to have this shared vision, you have to make sure you're on the same page, like you understand what's happening, how it's happening, and then you kind of meet each other mentally there. So that's really interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it is like telepathy. Exactly. Yeah, you're like creating this like mental landscape, to play
Yeah.
on together. Which is why props are so important when you're acting with your body, because then
Yeah.
you have the landscape in front of you, and it makes it so much easier to connect. And the
Yeah.
set, costumes, all of it. It just really, yeah.
It adds to creating the scene. I mean, I just saw a video, complete side tangent, off topic, so sorry. But I just watched a video of a woman like have like a physical reaction. She was doing a stage production, and in the stage production, they were doing it was some type of play based on like tribal, some African tribal something happening. And they were doing a ceremony and there was a drum beat, there was fog, and they were doing this chant and everyone was like swaying like they were in a trance. And this one
Hmm.
actor, like she fully fell into it and ended up having like an episode on stage because of it. Because like Brian always says, our bodies don't know it's not real. Our minds do, but our bodies
Yeah.
don't. So she ended up having a physical reaction to it. So yeah, all of those things coming
Wow.
together. And someone in the comments was like, well, I don't understand if they've rehearsed this, like, why is it happening now? And they're like, and someone else said, when you have the lighting, the music, the costume, the setting, the props, when you have all of that together, it very much becomes a real scenario.
And the
So,
audience adds so much energy, you know?
hmm yeah. So cool, cool stuff. Well, congratulations on that project. Is that the only thing you're working on right now?
Yep. Yeah.
Fair
There's
enough.
this
Fair enough.
there's a like a documentary crew that's been following me around sporadically. Um,
You've mentioned
I
this
don't
before.
know exactly what's going on with that. The feature film I'm working on is on hiatus for the summer, and oh, lost Tiana.
Oh, she's back. Maybe.
Hey,
Hey, friend.
You're back.
I don't know what happened. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's a Tuesday. It happens. Things happen.
Yeah.
Did you hear me say the F word?
No.
Okay, good.
You like completely disappeared.
Good. Sorry. If it happens again, just roll with it, and I'm just gonna go hop over to the clubhouse and I'll hop back on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sounds good. No, you're good. But what were you saying, RJ?
I don't know.
Project. Oh, just
Sorry.
like projects work. The main
Oh,
feature
yeah.
that you're working on is on hiatus for the summer.
Yeah, the feature's on hiatus for the summer. The documentary crew has been following me
Mm.
around, which has been uh, really interesting stuff to do in front of the camera. Um, which is, I just feel like it's like practice for being natural in front of the camera, which is
I have questions because you've mentioned this before that you
okay.
had a documentary crew following you around, and it's been like a long-term thing. Like this has been ongoing for a little while.
Hmm.
Where did this start? How did this start? I'm sure we talked about it before, but it's been so long that I don't remember. So please regale us with the tale because that is such a curious. Because now you're not being an actor. Like you're still performing, but you're not
Yeah.
performing as an actor. You're performing as RJ.
No, I'm not performing. I mean,
You're
I'm
not.
performative by nature, but no, I'm not actually. Uh, it's an exercise in forgetting the camera's there, really,
Mm.
um, while also remembering the camera's there, but like being comfortable in front of the camera. I'm not picking my nose or anything. Uh, but
Scratching in your
not
ass.
that I do. Not that I ever would. Not that I ever would. Um, so I drive Lyft as my main source of income because I am an actor, and I'm pretty new to acting actually, and so I drive Lyft through the winter and like the parts of the year when I don't have very much work. Um, and one of my riders just chatting with like a family who was driving in my car, and one of the people in there was like, "Hey, I'm like a grad student working, at the university, and I was wondering if you would be interested in being in a documentary about, gig workers and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds interesting, sure." Um, and then, like, a few weeks later, uh, 4 or 5 weeks later, met up in a parking lot with a camcorder, and she like did some test footage of me. I was like, "This is okay, camcorder. This is a fun, university thing." And then I met the director and sat down and went through it. And like the day before they were actually gonna like install the camera in my car, I looked him up, and he's like kind of a big deal, man.
RJ, what are you finding yourself in? I'm so proud of you. No, that's lit.
I was it's Yeah, he's a really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. Renan is his name, and his last name, I hope I don't misremember it right now, is Alexandrovich. But he's fantastic. And he's made a number of documentaries, award-winning international documentaries. He's very he's an accomplished guy. And so the camera that they set up in my car with like a battery and a monitor in the front seat and like mics here and mics there and like a full film camera, like all like a spider in my passenger seat watching me as I drive Lyft and like listening to my conversations and stuff. And like if I stop for lunch, they like get out, like they film me. And they're like, "What are you eating? Why are you eating it?" And
Wow, it sounds so involved. Yeah, no, like
it's
it's like a
yeah.
it's I don't want to say legit project because I think every project we work on is legit, but like this has got some production behind it.
I probably. It's
Seems
the
like
thing
it.
about a documentary is that like I don't see anything. I don't
Can I
even. The director keeps getting upset with me because in the car people keep asking me what the documentary is about. Because I have to have like a little sign like, "Are you okay if I record your audio while I'm in a documentary?" And people are like, "What's the documentary about?" I'm like, "I don't really know. I'm in it right now, so it's about this right now." And he's like, "You can tell them what it's about." I'm like, "Okay, but I don't know."
No, like it's a real answer. Like I genuinely do not know.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it's really interesting, and just seeing the way that like a film crew works in that way is really interesting. Um, I've been I've been blessed to the few film crews that I've worked with have been really tight and really really passionate about what they're doing and really professional, and all of that has been just fabulous.
that project reminds me so much of one of my favorite shows ever, True Life. Because back in the day, I feel like I got to learn a lot about people that are not only different than me, but have different lives and different careers and things that I would never even think of. I learned so much from that show. And I feel like if it were still around, I would write them and say that they should make a documentary episode specifically about the actors and Actors Lab and pick like
Yeah.
4 of us to follow around, because I feel like we all have, it's so interesting the different people that come into those doors. Even just in our class, like the different professions, the
Yeah.
different, like some people are there just because, it's
Yeah.
cool for them. Some people are like, I'm still amazed at how many bodybuilders slash
So many. Like
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
jujitsu or whatever. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just think it would be cool to follow different people in their different acting projects, but also what do they do when they're not acting? What are their
Right. Yeah.
jobs? Because it's such a variety. So yeah, that sounds like a really cool project, and I cannot wait until it comes out.
Yeah.
I'm
Please keep
really
us
excited
updated.
too. I will, absolutely. I have no idea what's going on, but I will absolutely tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay. So I have a question then, because we
Yeah.
always ask, would you prefer theater, stage acting, or being on the screen? But now I guess we should add a third option and say, would you like to be a voice actor? Like, is there a preference out of those 3 that you would like to do like forever?
I don't have very much experience with theater, and it's harder. I don't know though. I did really enjoy the experience with theater that I've had.
Has it just
There's just
been
something about having an audience.
how many theater productions stage productions have you done?
2
Hmm,
since I was since the 3rd grade.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what was it about the stage? Because again, like you said, you're
Oh no, that sounds true. I guess I've done some improv stuff as well.
that counts.
So like 4 or 5.
And it sounds like, or I shouldn't even ask this question because it sounds like you like the live audience aspect because you mentioned that before of like how the audience just gives so much energy to the performance. So it sounds like maybe that's like kind of like what you've liked in your experience. Am I not correct?
Yeah, there's just something about the like it's like the audience is there with you, you know? It's not like I'm looking for their feedback necessarily because it's not like I want like live, I don't want somebody shouting out, "That was good," but like it's just like they're watching, they're enjoying this. It's I mean, you were talking about ceremony earlier, and I just like there's something about it, like the entering into like this like other realm, like we were saying, like telepathy or like this shared imaginative space where it just feels like sacred. There's just something about it. This hush, and everybody's a little open, or everybody's a little more just like there's just a thing going on, you know. People are letting this happen, and we're all sharing it together. It's just really wonderful.
Yeah, the communal experience. It's kind of how I feel when I go to like a movie theater and like I love going to a packed movie theater when they're
Yeah.
respectful. When they're not respectful, I want to, but when they're respectful, going to a packed movie theater and just like sharing your reactions to what's happening on screen. It's kind of like similar, like is how I'm piecing it together.
I defend people shouting at movies. Absolutely. Um, like you said, respectful. But like if you actually, yeah, why not communicate?
Listen, I keep saying it, but watching Avengers at those midnight showings that they used to have with that crowd, I swear it was like we were all family for a second. It was
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like it, crying, laughing, like screaming, like oh yes. So I agree.
yeah. Yeah, the movie theater is like there's just something so amazing about an audience,
Hmm.
for anything. For
You
anything.
know what's funny though? I find myself actually wishing to hear a reaction on stage. I want to hear it. And there was a time,
Really?
yes, I need to know that you guys are keyed in. I need to know that that joke that we worked so hard on, somebody laughed at it. Like, I need to hear that.
Mm,
And I found myself in the last full show, we would be downstairs counting how many times people laughed. And not because we were trying, like, we didn't turn it into a comedy show, but we knew that there were bits that sometimes audiences would just not, they wouldn't catch it. And we would be like, well, that kind of sucks because they missed the first half of the joke and the payoff is coming later. Like, you know what I mean? So that's interesting that you were like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's true. Like I want to know people get the joke. That feels good. You know,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I just don't want, like in a movie theater, somebody's like, like in like a horror movie, somebody shouts like, "Don't go in there." I don't want that to happen in a play.
Oh,
Maybe I
no.
do,
No,
actually.
that's fair.
Maybe I do.
I think it depends on the style of the play.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Like I think there are stories in which that could work, and like having audience
Wacky horror
feedback like
for
that.
sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do want to ask a slight pivot, but not crazy, because you mentioned that you've only been in two, technically four or five, if we count improv stage productions since third grade. So when did you find acting, or when did acting find you? What made you? What drew you to it? Like, what was your journey?
Okay. Let me think about how to say this. I always thought acting was easy. And so I also got embarrassed really easy. And so I was like, I'll let other people do it. I don't want to get embarrassed or like do that. Which is to say, like from a young age, I felt like I had a talent for acting, but I didn't want to do it because I felt self-conscious. And during the pandemic, in I'm not going to dox my age. What am I doing here?
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
When I was an age, I saw the show Station 11 on HBO. Fantastic show. I think it might be one of my favorite shows. One season, beautiful writing. It's self-contained,
Sci-fi?
and they barely, but yeah.
Mm.
And it's about a troupe of Shakespearean actors that tour the Great Lakes 20 years after like a global virus has eradicated the world population, like 20 years after society fell apart. But they go around maintaining Shakespeare, and doing that because in the book, which I loved the book, I read that like 10 years ago. They don't say it, I think, in the show, but the through line is survival is insufficient. Like it's just you can live, but that's not enough to really feed your soul. You need more in life. And like the things that were happening in the show was not about acting at all. It was about your life and the things that have, gone on in it, and the way that like nothing ever really ends, nothing ever really heals, and everything's going to be okay. But we're all here, we're all together, and we should share that. We should share that with each other. And that acting or making art or music or whatever is just a way to just speak truth. It's a sacred ritual. It's a thing that we need as people. And so they're the Shakespearean troupe touring the Great Lakes, and I highly recommend the show. Mackenzie Davis, phenomenal, just phenomenal. Oh my God, gorgeous, of course, obviously, but just like I have to. I'm sorry. Like,
No. We love pretty people.
It's so good. It's so fantastically good, and it's just like it's very just facially queer without ever saying anything about it. And it's just a beautiful show, just really really beautiful.
Wow. Great recommendation. Okay, thank you.
So I was like, okay, and so I finished the show, and then I said, all right, let me try and take an acting class, and then I started at the Actors Lab.
And the rest was history.
Yeah,
So it's been a few years for you as well
yeah.
at Actors Lab. I mean,
I think 2023, 2022 is when I started.
It's funny. It's funny how COVID did that to so many of us. I feel like everyone we talk to is like, yeah, so COVID happened.
Yeah, well,
What else did I have to do?
crazy. Yeah.
Might as
yeah,
well.
the great
Nice.
reset.
No, literally.
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay. So I did want to talk about a moment that you had, quite literally one of the most vulnerable moments I think anyone could ever have on stage. You had to perform in the one act. Do you want to talk about that? We cut this out.
Yeah, no, we absolutely can talk about that. We absolutely can.
I have, first of all, kudos for even doing that, because I would be so self-conscious of everything. Like I already am self-conscious when I'm on stage and I'm like, I need to wear this under my jeans because I feel like this might show, or I don't want this to show. And you literally had to like strip down.
There you go. Yeah, I did.
Not like naked, but still.
Yeah, to my skin.
Real.
Yeah.
How did you even approach that?
I just Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, I just did it. I just said like this is what needs to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's part of the performance.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a voyeuristic aspect to all acting, really, because the reciprocation from any audience is never equal to the effort that any actor's putting in. It better not be. um, and so when you have to get naked on stage, I guess I just decided like that I couldn't be afraid of it, and that like this is what my body looks like, and I got cast for this, so this is what it's the body. This is what the body in this looks like. And so I separated the me from it. Like the Richard is the name of the character. This is Richard, and he's doing this. And this is mine is the body that they need for this. Uh, and that helped me not worry about it too much, and just sort of think of it as like, um, you know, I put clothes on again, I should say.
Right. Yeah.
And it was more clothes than I took off. But
Yeah.
the act of it was very suggestive, and the way it was played, I felt was tasteful, because it was sort of a moment between myself and my partner for the act, for my co for the he had all the lines. Actually, he had a giant monologue. I just had to get naked.
Yep.
um and so it's sort of like he's actually the one that actually really did help me, because he had the harder job. He had to memorize this 10-minute monologue.
Mm-hmm.
He's going back and forth across the stage, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just got so much to say. I just have to sort of like be worth it for him to want to. So it's the one act was called For Richard and for Porter. And it's about two fellas who are getting married, and the it's the wedding day, and like I'm in the back room, whatever, of the wedding, where you're like supposed to be getting ready, and I'm just in like my pajamas, and I'm texting. And then Eddie, my husband to be, comes barging in, and he's having a panic attack about how he's not good enough to marry me, and he's not so great, and all that stuff. And so in order for that to sell, I have to be so great. I have to be like a fucking stud. Excuse
Yeah.
my French. I have to be a freaking stud. Um, on stage for him, so that I can make it happen, because it's part of the story is that he loves me, and one of the things that he loves about me is physical, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to provide that to him, and I have to provide what's necessary for the story, and I liked the story, and so that's really all that was necessary. If the audience doesn't like it, it's kind of on them. And if they're like, I think he's a little pudgy, okay, I might be.
You know what's funny? I don't think anyone even it would all be in the actor's head. Because I think
Yeah.
most of the audience, first of all, if you're doing your job well enough anyway, they're locked in on the story. They don't care what you look like anyway. So
Mhm.
it's like, but it's just approaching that as an actor. Like, it would be so intimidating to me. Like, I still also, like, I haven't had like intimate scenes or anything like kisses
Yeah.
or anything like that. So that still is like a, thing I would have to have a talk with and go to therapy about to figure out how to approach that. But yeah, that's just okay. So then that leads me to the next question. Is there or how would you approach, not even is there, how would you approach something that you just cannot do? Like you yourself, the actor, you cannot bring yourself to do it.
Hmm.
How would you approach that? Because I agree with your sentiment that it's kind of really not our job to change the writer's work. So for me, like me and Alicia have talked about this, I just would be like, well, then I can't do this role because I know that there's something that I am so deeply uncomfortable with that I don't want it to change what you've done, but I know I can't do that. So I'll just bow out or I just won't go for it at all. But how would you approach that?
Something I wasn't willing to do. Yeah, I mean, the if I want to do the project and it's
Mm,
something that, some ex I get cast for horror a lot, for stuff, and so there's some extreme acts that are requested of me sometimes.
mm,
And very important to talk about that with the director and sort of like what it means, read the script and see is this weird? Like is this maybe not something I want to do?
mm,
Um, and what that's kind of a fine line to walk because, it might be weird and something you want to do, and
mhm,
like the unsettling nature of horror is like we're exploring things that make us uncomfortable.
mhm,
Um, it's really important for me to just like talk it through it with the director before I even decide what I want to do or not. Just be like, this scene, like he does this into this in this way, and then it resolves how, like what is this? What are we building towards here? And sometimes it's like we just want to see that this guy's a bad guy. We want the audience really not to like him. We want the audience to be scared of him. We want the audience to think that this about them or that about him. And then it's like, okay, and what about this scene? It's like, oh, this is so that the other character can like sort of rise above their circumstances and overcome this obstacle, and they can face something that's very difficult and scary. And that helps you. That helps me get into sort of the mindset of like, okay, I gotta kill a guy with a hammer, uh,
mhm.
which isn't really something that I would like to do, but it's fun
For the
to
sake of the
pretend.
art.
Yeah, it's fun to pretend a little bit, but yeah. Another thing with acting is that it does affect you, when you're doing it, and so you have to think about like, do I want to be that guy when that's happening? And
I think about that all the time. Those truly villainous roles, like you've mentioned it before. The man who plays Homelander, whose name is this Anthony.
yeah, Anthony Mackie?
Anthony.
No,
No, no.
Sure.
Anthony
Star.
Starr.
Yes, Anthony Starr.
Yeah.
It's just like how do you like how do actors? Because you're right, like the body just doesn't know that it's not real sometimes, most of the time. So it's like how can you like are you okay exploring like the real depths of a truly villainous character? And that's just like I really truly commend actors who are willing to face that side of themselves because I think it is you have to ask yourself like am I willing to be this kind of person for this moment because it's all just a scene. We mentally know that it's fake. So it's just for that moment, but for that moment it's real.
And also, especially with something like a Homelander, that went on for years. And so not only because when you were talking, I was thinking about Michael B. Jordan with Killmonger.
Yeah.
Black Panther, yeah.
Yeah, and how he said that he had to literally go to therapy to get out of that character. But that was one movie, but it also lives forever. But then with something like a TV show that spans almost a decade, how do you deal with the fact that you did your job so well? You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Now people may have a different view of you. Like honestly, I'm gonna be really honest. If I see that actor in person, I'm afraid. I'm not even gonna
Mm.
lie. Like I get it that it's acting, but like he just did his job so well. It's like now are you prepared for the repercussions of doing your job so well that people now see that character in you, regardless of even how you're feeling internally. But that's not
I mean
really
it's they go together, yeah.
that's not that's not a problem I feel like
Yeah.
we'll have quite yet because we're not there yet, but we'll get there.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how to I don't know exactly about the second part of that, where it's like how to make it so other people don't see me as that, I mean,
Well, I mean, you are the
I-
horror
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of horror, and I did want to ask you about that. Like, what? Because it's almost to the point where, like, sometimes I feel like you've been typecasted.
Yeah. Well, okay. So trust on set is huge, right? Like I need to be friends with the other actors and stuff. And like it's just so necessary. Like not if not friends, like rapport needs to be high. There needs to be a
Hmm.
high level of trust. Um, and I need to know where they're coming from, and they need to know where I'm coming from, and I need to like need to be myself about around them a little first, and like I'll shit talk my character and that kind of thing, and just like try and like get a read on how everybody's feeling about this and that, and on the sets where people have been a little less experienced and they have been kind of afraid of me, which has happened, um, which is uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable
Yeah.
because then I'm just like, okay, I'll sit here on the couch and don't worry, I'm not going to bother anybody. And people know, I mean, it's just I don't know, just an experience thing because like you can't control what anybody else thinks about you. You can definitely control the way that you express yourself to the world, but whether other people are willing to meet you in the world and not just the version of yourself that they saw on screen is really up to them. And you can't really give two shits.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
RJ gives two shits. Title.
You can do that. That could be the title.
Fuck it,
Oh
we
man.
ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have a bite of this melon. Give me 1 second.
Fuck it up,
That's
man.
good. Oh, we should have snacks. Alicia, why don't we eat snacks?
I don't know. We lock in too much. We lock in, we hit record, and we're like, okay, we're on. No
It's like,
snacks.
yeah, we're like
Yeah.
yapping, like a yapperton, like we're ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then RJ, you know what's actually really ridiculous? We'll record an hour-long episode and stay on an hour after the episode. And
Oh, what's happening?
it's so ridiculous, but that's why we have a podcast, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Just, I'm not trying to have aesthetic hair right now. It just keeps getting in my face.
Can I
No,
actually
that's so good.
that kind of rolls into what I wanted to say. So it's funny because the last guest we had on was Taylor, right? It was Taylor.
Yeah.
See.
I mean,
And
could be.
she said something that now has like completely blown my mind about how this is a good platform for actors like us who maybe we're not going on red carpets regularly. She said that this is a good opportunity to become media trained, because we're not getting formal media training. So now this can like be a potential. So I'm saying all that to say that I feel like you come across very polished, and even the way like you'll wait until we finish a question before you start speaking, or you'll take a moment to think about it, and that like you're coming across extremely polished in how you present yourself. That's fact.
I have something to say about that. When I started acting all those 4 years ago, and I took my first acting class. Actually, I took one acting class at community college, Theater 101. That was a long time ago, or was it? What was I saying? Okay, when I was like, I want to try this, want to act, I was really uncomfortable in front of a camera. I felt I would cringe. I was like, I don't like the way I look. All of that, like all of that. I just like I look at myself. I was like, ugh, gross. And I would hear the sound of my voice and be like, oh, that's not right. And so, excuse me. And so I would just I decided I need to train myself to be better at this. And so I started going on social media a lot more. And I used, the fact of social media to my advantage. And I started doing a thing that I called Faceplant Friday. And for more than a year, every Friday, I would post to my profile and my story on both Facebook and Instagram a picture of myself with my face planted sideways somewhere new.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do.
And
Yep.
and it's people started sending replies of themselves. My friends started sending replies of themselves doing face plants. When they were sick, they would do it. It was really nice. And it was a great way for me to get accustomed to just like being a little bit more public of a presence, having people see me and being like, that's a reaction I'm having to you. That's me typing. And taking my picture and that sort of a thing. Yeah, that was just very intentional that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use social media to my advantage because like why I feel like there's like a perception, I guess, among people about like influencers and YouTubers and like video essayists and that sort that it's all very vain. That they do it because they're like I look hot and I want to take a picture and get a bunch of likes about it or whatever, and that is it. But also, it's they have other stuff they want to share too, right? And there's more to the package than just being like this is what I look like and I feel comfortable or confident or like I'm doing this right now. It's just sharing yourself,
Mhm.
and nobody cares if you aren't polished, if you don't have makeup on, or like if you aren't like fucking the insert super hot person looks. The people in your life, they want to see you. They want to see you out there. And that if you're uncomfortable on camera, just use social media a bit more. But
Yeah.
you have to take the pictures of yourself, okay? Videos of yourself talking about stuff. Sing a song and post it to your profile of your face, even if it's not good. Just do it. Try and make it good because that's part of it.
You're
But
you're literally so right though, because like when I first started taking acting classes, actually I didn't even realize that correlation until this very moment. But that's when I started posting on TikTok. I think like that fall is when I really started posting on TikTok. And it's funny because once you get into the habit of we all use social media like pretty regularly for our content, whatever. So when you get into the habit of posting, you do kind of stop becoming self-conscious and aware of it. And I remember when I first started posting, I did have this series kind of similarly where every single day I would take a full body length of myself because I hated how I look. I hated looking at my body on camera. I hated looking at myself on camera. Like I was so disgusted. Like I did not feel good about myself. So I was like, well, I don't like this feeling. I'm an actor. I need to get used to seeing myself on camera. So I started taking a video every single day of my full body, just doing whatever, usually showing off my outfit. And sure enough, I think within like a month or two, I mean, I stopped doing it, but I noticed a difference. I don't focus as much on what I physically look like when I'm taking a video or in a video as much as I used to. It's not like there is a muscle that you have to train to kind of get out of your own way, essentially.
yeah. And it became less about how you felt about your body and more about how you felt about the clothes. Am I right?
Exactly. In the outfits and like, oh, do I think like, do I look, is this cute? Like, is this like a cute, like cute vibe that I'm curating right now? Like, yeah, exactly.
I too have an interesting story about that because I started my book review podcast, one, because I wanted to talk about books. So I just did it. And like your point about sharing yourself with the world, like that's how I wanted to share. Like I genuinely just want to do it and I enjoy doing it and that's fun. But also, I started to realize this was a little bit before jumping into acting that I wanted to get comfortable speaking and presenting my ideas to the world because I felt like when I would talk, people would not understand what I was trying to say. So I was like, well, I have to get better at translating my thoughts into words that are understandable and that are like digestible because I wasn't like I felt like it was like a roadblock. Like I couldn't almost advocate for myself in like simple settings, but it's like for some reason you're not hearing what's in my head. So now I need to get better at that. So then I just started talking. And when I first started doing book reviews, I would practice one episode for like 3 weeks. I would say it in my car to work. I would go through the whole episode, 30 minutes of just me talking when I had a long commute, or I would say it like anytime I went to the bathroom. Okay, let's run through this quick little, so like repetition and then sending it out there. The first 2 years, I didn't tell anyone I had a podcast. That was a thing that like, okay, I'm out there, okay, this is cool. Then I started slowly, and now it's like, then I jump into acting and I find that I'm a little bit more comfortable with presenting myself. There were still hurdles, you know what I mean? But now it's like, okay, it's like next step. Okay, next step. Let's do this. Now let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
agree. I think there is definitely a positive side of social media in that you get to present yourself how you want. And you also get to be comfortable with the fact that, okay, this is me and this is what the world sees. Boom. So what's next?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's great.
And also Dungeons and Dragons is a great way for you to because I think improv is crucial for acting. I
Yeah.
really think you need to know how to think on your feet because you might get a redirect immediately. You just have to do something
Yeah.
totally different. Or your scene partner might mess up a line, or they might something might happen that's new, and you need to be ready for that new energy. So Dungeons and Dragons is a fantastic way to practice that muscle and play with your friends and get used to just taking big swings, bigger than you could do for real. You know, like
Yeah.
when you're Dungeons and Dragons, you'd be like, I cast a spell. You know, it's like, okay, you can't actually do that in real life. So
Mhm.
it's a good way to get used to being like, okay, you know, I roll my eyes in this scene. You know, is it feels less like a scary decision.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Getting comfortable making choices.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. This is great. This is actually really good. And I think honestly, you might be another one that we like in the future asked to come.
Are we done?
We don't have to be done. We
I mean,
have
we still have to do performance of the week,
yeah, we
which
already
is going to
talked
take
about
like
it.
15 minutes.
Oh, performance of the week, performance of the week, performance
Yeah.
of the week. Yeah.
Do you have would you like us to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Alicia, do you have a performance of the week?
I do, but I have to look up the actor's name. I was supposed to do that before we hopped on, and I did not have enough time. So if you have yours ready.
I do have mine ready. So a few years ago, The Woman King with Viola Davis came out, and I love Viola down. Also, they had a really good stacked cast in that movie.
Yes.
And I remember my mind being completely blown away with the acting. And actually, I made a video, speaking of social media, that was my first viral video on my Instagram, was me telling my reaction, like a 45-second clip of me talking about how blown away I was with The Woman King. But specifically the scene where she finds out that the daughter that she gave up when she was like a baby, she finds out that that child is not only alive, but that is the girl that she had been mentoring to fight with her. So now, like, of course, that impacts the stakes of the scene of the movie. It's an emotional reaction, and she plays this really hardened woman that's like a warrior. She's no nonsense, and now you get to see the emotion. Ridiculous.
That that movie is so good. I am obsessed with that movie. I'm always
I,
telling people about that movie.
yes, I really love that movie.
It's a really
Because
good
I love history. You know, I love history. And while it's not accurate very much, it is so cool.
I listen, it's a
They
perspective.
get to the costumes and the set design and the way they're doing stuff and all of that.
Mhm,
Amazing. Just
mhm.
in the
fucking
atmosphere.
so
They
good.
really nailed the atmosphere.
Yeah.
No.
And Viola Davis was like, you know, she's like, they made me get in shape. And that's the first time I ever got in shape in my life at 50 or whatever.
Because I don't remember if this was before or after, but she had did Ma Rainey's Black Bottom with Chadwick Boseman around that same time. And for that role,
She was bigger, right?
she had to gain weight because that was pertinent to the character. And so I can't remember which came first, but she literally went from one extreme to the next. And I remember her talking
It
about,
was the
yeah,
Black Bottom and then the Woman King.
yep. Yeah, I remember her talking about how like intense that was, just the preparation for that role. Like that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And the performances in that film are so fabulous.
Right?
So fabulous. Yeah. I don't remember the name of the actress who's like the second in command or
I
whatever.
know it's yes, yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
She
I know
but
what you're
who's like
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh, yeah.
that's a dream. I would love to be in a role like that. Like as
Yeah.
one of the women in the like the I don't listen. I would love to get to Viola Davis's level one day, but like I would love to just be in one of the warrior roles so that I can participate and bring my best and also so that I can witness this up close.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. And just like the cast is almost entirely women and
Yeah.
they're black women, of course. And it's just not like it's just badass and they're all tough as fuck it's like it's cerebral and interesting and emotional, and they're kicking ass, and it's not like, oh well, to be a woman in a man's world story. It's like, no, this is the world, and these are the women in it, and this is the way
Yes.
they fuck shit up, and this is the way they live, and this is how this is how they survive, but they survive pretty well, except when they die. It's yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the Agogie, incredible,
yeah.
incredible.
It's on Tubi now. Speaking of Tubi, I
Okay,
said that last week, or like a couple days ago. But yeah, it's available on
to
Tubi.
be plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I love Tubi. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I watched that. I saw that movie in theaters with my mom, but I saw it when it first came out, so I haven't watched it since. So I vaguely remember it, but I do remember it was very good, and Viola Davis ate that role up. She ate it up, and
Mm,
she looked good. She looked good.
Mhm.
Yes,
she
ma'am.
did. Okay, I have to look up the name of one of the actors that I was gonna tout. Give me just a
Okay.
sec, because I can't
No
remember
worries.
their
I'll
names.
go ahead. I can go.
Okay.
So I watched this movie called Dream Lover with what is his name? James Spader. And it's supposed to be like a psychosexual film. I'll be so honest with you, I fell asleep and it wasn't good enough for me to want to finish it. But I love James Spader, but he's not who I want to focus on. There was this one character. So the movie is about he meets his ideal woman, his dream woman. Like she's perfect, they get married, they have a family, and then he learns that she lied about her identity. So he goes to her hometown to like find out more about her, and he runs into her old lover who she was gonna get with before she decided to completely change her life. And his name was Buddy. He was played by an actor named William Shockley. Y'all, this man had about 5 minutes on screen, but he used those 5 minutes, okay? Because he was like this, it was some like small town down in Texas. So he was like this dirty ragamuffin, like clearly blue collar man, had this gorgeous long hair, but like kind of dirty, just really gritty character. And at first, like the James Spader character walks up to him and you're like, I don't really know about this guy. I don't know what his vibe is. Like, is he chill? Is he not? And then there was one point in the scene when James Spader is asking about his wife because this character, Buddy, used to again date her. And he walks back to him and he just gives this like little monologue about how this woman broke his heart. And but he didn't do it in a way that was like heartbreaking. Like he wasn't sad. It was almost seductive in a really weird way. And it was like he locked in like the eye contact that he had with James Spader. Like I just felt his energy through the screen in that moment, in that scene, in a way that I really admired. Like it's just like it was one of those roles where like smaller side character doesn't have a whole lot of story, but their impact is like it just stuck with me. I was like, oh, that's who I'm talking about this week. So it was
Goals.
Hell yeah.
solid. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
literally goals.
To be an actor with such a small part of a project and to make a big impact, I feel like that's your audition for the greater part of the industry, like to nail that. So that's really cool.
Exactly. Like highlight of the reel,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
I was going to talk about Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Reinsve in the Backrooms, because I just saw the
Mm.
Backrooms. It was fantastic. They were so good, especially because like so much of it is just like this silent following them as they're like confused, and like only one person on screen most of the time, just like really, really that. But now I'm realizing that it doesn't just have to be something that I saw this week. It can be from all time. So I want to actually bring it back to Mackenzie Davis in Station 11. Just her performance is so grounded. Like her performance is just so grounded and so real. And she plays a person who's weird, you know? The main character, people like them, all that stuff, but just different. Just very different.
Quirky.
And there're just a lot of acting decisions that are clearly like something that nobody could have like written that on the page and be like, do that, just like it's so understated and yet so passionate and powerful. She comes across as incredibly strong, incredibly smart, and incredibly like wise through this whole process, but while also having this like almost childlike quality, because it is a bit of a coming of age story. And she does full, and then she's doing all of this stuff and with this like acting as this character through the whole thing that's like weird and has these foibles and is a bit different in the head, but also like really protective of her family and really loving. And then she does Hamlet and is doing Hamlet, totally different person because she's acting. She's acting in the thing, and her and the performance of Shakespeare is always just spot on and fantastic. But in that show, I don't remember the name of the actor. I could look him up. I'm going to look him up right now. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
One
Go
scene
for
in
it.
particular.
Good.
You guys got to watch the show.
But just to make a commentary on that, I love when an actor's choice is so strong that I'm sitting there asking myself, was that written or did they do that? Like what like did they just like spontaneously like did it feel right in the character? I find myself analyzing those kinds of things like a lot more these days. I'm just like curious about like the different things that aren't dialogue, aren't necessarily like quote unquote scripted, but it's like, well, how, was that directed or was it just an actor choice?
Okay, I cannot find. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Sorry,
It's totes okay. Really fine.
because he's just one of the side characters in the.
And that's an HBO show too. I love HBO.
They're
And I
fantastic.
need
Yeah.
to. I was thinking about getting them again, like canceling Hulu for now and like re-upping them.
But Alicia, we haven't talked yet. Didn't the first episode of the Vampire Lestat release?
Yes, it did. I've been avoiding spoilers. They've been trying to come to me.
Yeah, because I'm waiting until they're all out.
Mhm.
Then I'll.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do the weekly.
What's that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yes, AMC.
I gotta go back and rewatch that. Wow, let me.
Just everybody go watch Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Lestat. Just do it.
I'm so like gagged every time. Like they're like so messy. They have the most toxic relationship on
I
earth.
love it.
And it's the best thing, and it's so entertaining. And then what's his name is just fanning the flames of messy.
Armand.
No, what's his name? No. The journalist. The what's his name?
Oh! I can't remember his
Daniel?
name.
Is it Daniel?
I don't know, girl.
I should know. It's been a minute. So
Okay. I can't find this actor's name. I apologize.
It's all good.
But to audition for the Shakespearean traveling troupe. He gets up, and this is post-apocalypse, the whole thing. But he gets up, and they're like, "Okay, do you audition? Do you know any Shakespeare?" He's like, "I actually don't know any Shakespeare." And they're like, "Okay, do whatever you can. Let's see what you can do." And he stands up there, and he does the speech from the president from Independence Day.
Oh wow!
And he just kills it. He just absolutely smashes it.
Like Independence Day with Will Smith.
That's yes. And he just destroys this in this audition to get to become a Shakespearean actor. And that was the moment I was like, maybe I should try to act. That was the exact moment. Yeah. And I just really want to shout out to that actor. What his name? I don't know. I can't find it on IMDb at the moment. But he's in a lot of stuff, and he's so.
That's a good like button too for like how we started this episode. And yeah. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch that show. You said it's only one season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It sounds really good. I'm excited for Taylor to listen to this episode because like the moment you mentioned Shakespeare, I'm like, Taylor, get on it.
Me, Taylor, and RJ are gonna have to do something Shakespeare in the near future. Like I've auditioned for a few Shakespeare pieces in the past like month or so, but I'm just gonna keep auditioning until I get one, obviously.
I'm trying to do this William Shakespeare Star Wars thing. Okay, I'm desperate to do it.
Okay. Also, I just saw someone. I don't even know what his name is, but he does Shakespeare videos in parking lots. So he'll just explain a scene or something, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, wow, talk about like having the opportunity in your hand to do, like we were saying, to do something that you like to do and put it out into the world. And like, so yeah, we'll figure it out. But that's cool. That sounds cool. Shakespeare, Star Wars.
Yeah, they took the scripts and they Shakespeareified them into Shakespearean plays with like soliloquies and monologues. It's really good.
As most things are, like most, I think, iconic series have lines back to Shakespeare, obviously,
He is the father of modern storytelling.
Yeah.
He invented like tons of words.
So many. Like so many that we still use today regularly. It's fascinating. He's a great man.
I'm always calling people jackanapes.
Hilarious.
Phenomenal.
Well, yeah. You can I never close it. I'm sorry.
RJ, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
V, thank you so much for joining us today. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today. We're out here. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. RJ, we have to have you back. This is so good.
I'd love that. I'd love that so much.
Yeah. I really want to do this thing.
No, you go ahead, because I was just going to plug something.
Button on that. I would really love to do this thing where we come back a year from now and like exactly a year from now re-interview everyone that we've interviewed thus far. Like for the first year, like just like revisit all our old interviews. Just throwing that out there.
We can do that. I'm down. I was just gonna say by now, I've either had my first couple of performances of the book club play or it's getting close. So buy your tickets. I'll put the link in the description. Buy your tickets if you are local to Norristown or King of Prussia. The book club play is going up and I will be playing Lily Louise Jackson. Also, we just got word, last button, we can't share anything with you yet, but we just got word that our short film that we did in the fall was completed. The editing is done. So
yes,
it's going
to do the film festival circuit.
Yeah, it's going to the film.
Yeah.
But
so fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll definitely, when that goes to that one film festival that hopefully is going to, we're gonna put a link in the description for that so everyone can come see it there. So yeah.
Very exciting stuff, and hopefully we can share the movie poster soon too. But hopefully. Yeah, all good stuff. Loved this episode, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.